update is sponsored by Automatic Fire Protection. Your business safety can't wait, and neither should your fire protection. At Automatic Fire Protection, we've been protecting lives and properties across Texas for decades, delivering complete fire sprinkler systems, alarms, clean agent suppression, and more. Whether you're in San Angelo, Dallas, San Antonio, or Houston, our locally owned experts bring the big company standards right to your door. From installation to inspection to maintenance to emergency response, we've got you covered. Don't leave your fire safety to chance. Call Automatic Fire Protection today at 325-651-90 for our San Angelo office or visit automaticfireprotection.com for a free quote. Because when it comes to keeping your people and property safe, prevention is protection. Automatic Fire Protection. Texas strong, safety first. Hey guys, welcome back to the Ag Update, Blue and Gold Edition, the podcast where agriculture meets truth, science, and zero sugarcoating. I'm Tegan Self, your Central FFA reporter and host of this podcast. And today's episode is special because this is the last episode that we will be having for this year. And for some of us, this will be the last time we're on the mic. So this is all about looking back on the memories we made this year and what our chapter is built on. And we're also going to be passing the torch to the next group who will take this even further. Now, we've got to start with, in my opinion, one of the biggest things this year. And I might be biased when I say the podcast. What started with just an idea became a big voice for our chapter. We got to share stories. We got to, highlight members and talk about agriculture topics. But what I found most important was we got to showcase and show people the behind the scenes of FFA and the agricultural world, and the grit that it takes to be in that community. Now, let's not forget LDE season with all the memories we made there. Lenore did an amazing job with the Spanish Creed. My gosh, guys, don't even get me started. Honestly, if we'd have known that she needed to say the creed in Puerto Rican Spanish instead of Texas Spanish,
we would be telling such a different story right now.
Can you believe that the judge told us after, her doing her creed that she would have won if she had had the correct one? She would have made it to state, guys. It's so frustrating. But either way, she stepped up to the plate. She represented us well, and we're very proud of her. One of the biggest highlights this year was the 30th annual San Angelo Local Invitational Stock Show, and this was the first year that it was ran by Central FFA chapter.
This one was a big one. We added new groups like Grape Creek, 4-H, and homeschool exhibitors.
Yeah, we added more, divisions, more opportunities, and it made it bigger than it's ever been.
Of course, as we just thought we got everything ready, it took a turn for the worse.
You mean whenever our judge got the dates mixed up and didn't show up for the stock show?
Yeah, we thought Ship had lost it. We were looking for her, and she was just standing out in the middle of the field outside the barn.
Well, she was looking for the weight for the scale because, it's hard to start weighing all the pigs and stuff if you don't have the right stuff. Anyways, whatever. There was a lot that we didn't anticipate to happen. But regardless, the ag community, being the ag community, we adapted and people stepped up to help out. And regardless of the hiccups, we did have a very successful show.
And our members showed out. Shelby winning Grand Champion Goat and Showmanship. I won Reserve Champion Goat. And Liza Best Fancy Rabbit. And Tegan, of course, showed against herself. So obviously she got Grand and Reserve Championship for sheep showing. Also, she did an amazing job at showmanship, although I'm not going to lie, I thought Dolly was going to kill me.
My sheep did not know how to chill out, okay? And I gave Hazel, my smaller sheep, Jolene, for a reason, because she was a very obedient sheep. She didn't give you any problems. And then I had Dolly, who was a bull in a china shop. She was feisty. She was mean. She didn't want to listen to you. And she reared up on me quite a bit. But, I kept my composure. I did what I could. But regardless, that day as a whole just showed what Central FFA was capable of and what we're all about. It was really, really nice, though, that we had the Tom Green County show right after, the next day after the San Angelo local. I found it, really convenient. You'd think it'd be inconvenient having two shows back-to-back, but I really liked having them back-to-back because the first show was just like a warm-up. It got me used to it, and I felt a lot more easygoing and a lot less stressed at the county show.
Yeah, it was really good to just like relax and focus on county and actually showing rather than all the chaos that was around us.
Yeah, I definitely felt intimidated, but I feel like getting to kind of feel out the arena and showing itself at the San Angelo local helped me not be so intimidated and nervous at the county.
And Shelby kept up her winning streak with a showmanship buckle, which is super hard to do for our county because there's so many competitors. As well as Tegan placed first with her Dorper class with her sheep dolly.
Mm-hmm. You know, she did a lot better. That attitude adjustment did kick in, I'm telling you. And, yeah, it's just, Dolly did great that time. But, our seniors, Shelby and Hazel, and I wrapped up our showing careers at the St. Angelo Stock Show and Rodeo, the major. Yeah, what do you have to say about that?
Oh, don't even remind me. It was really hard playing him on the trailer because it was the last time that I got to see him. So I'm going to stop there before I have the waterworks.
It's okay. Luckily, I didn't have to deal with that because I showed in breeding classes, and for those who don't know, breeding, you don't send your sheep off on a truck whenever you lose. You just get to keep them. And luckily, I had great people like Brad Rader who helped me out and gave me sheep to show, and I could not be more grateful for the opportunity that he gave me. First, I want to introduce you to my ag teacher, Bailey Shipp, the brains behind the operations with this podcast. And, honestly, this podcast would not be possible without her.
Well, thank you, Tegan. I'm excited to be on it. I've never been on it before. I've always been behind the camera, the editor-in-chief over here. But it's really nice to actually get to have this conversation with you today.
I feel so special that she's in front of the camera. Okay, so Shipp and I made the trip to the San Antonio livestock show and rodeo for the first time in a really long time.
Oh yeah, I don't know the last time that San Angelo Central has gone to the San Antonio Stock Show. So that was exciting.
Yeah, that was. How do you think the first week with me?
With you?
Yeah.
So it was super nice because I got to go with you and your family, and your family is very seasoned in stock show. I mean, I only have experience in pig shows, so it was very nerve-wracking going to San Antonio and not knowing how to do check-in and how to do everything for sheep. So it was really exciting to be able to go and learn that aspect and learn how to do check-in and learn how to do all the stuff before we went to week 2, where it was just me and Mila, who hasn't gone before, and which it was a totally different experience. But it was really exciting, and I think you did so well. And the first day, because you do breeder sheep, so you're able to do the junior show and the open show.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something new that you don't get to do with market barrows. Market barrows, you just go to the truck.
Well, what do you call it? I don't know about pig shows, but I really liked in the open that I could have my dad come in with me. And
that was so awesome. I've never seen that before, but that is really cool that the open show is very, very kind of lax, and you're able to end your senior season with your dad, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm so sweet. Thank you, Shipp, for the glaze. I love Coach Shipp's daughter. Her name's Ren, and I love her so much. I feel so special that Ren likes me because Ren's picky.
She does not go to anybody. But what's so crazy is the first wool practice last year, because Tegan's dad helped last year with wool practice. The first wool practice, he just walked up, started talking to me, and Ren just jumped out of my arms to him. And I was like, what the heck, child? Who are you?
You don't even know this
man.
No stranger danger or nothing.
But stranger danger to everyone else. So it was really cool. But Ren absolutely loves Tegan, so it's been really nice to get to go to the stock show and not have to be the only person taking care of her because she's very Velcroed. So it was really, really nice to get to relax a little bit.
Yeah, it was also really cool because I had some family friends that, last minute gave us the opportunity to go see the rodeo after showing, and that was...
Not any tickets, guys. We got suites.
Yeah,
if you've ever seen like box suites at San Antonio. I mean, it was ridiculous. It kind of ruins every other rodeo seat that you could ever have, but we'll never have another experience like it. And Rin was so excited she could just run around and get to watch the horse barrel racing, her favorite. So it was really nice, and you got food and drinks and everything. So it was a really good experience for our first week. And then we woke up the next morning for that open show, and I just thought it was so crazy that the first judge, the first day, he did not give Dolly, and Dolly's been obviously the one that you have done so well with and all the other shows. So he just kind of bypassed her, didn't pay any mind to her, and then he kept Jolene in the ring for a while, and I was like, wow, okay. So then the second day it kind of flipped, and they did not give Jolene two seconds. Like, it was no second glance, just was done with her. But Dolly, they kept her in a ring for a while. You showed really well, and I was really impressed with you and your showing ability, considering this was your first year showing, and you're the only one showing sheep, so you didn't have anybody to like help you, guide you. I mean, all the guidance that you had from your parents was great, and then you had to get outside guidance from other people from other schools because it wasn't something that we had here in San Angelo.
Yeah, surprisingly. So, wrapping up week 1, how was week 2, would you say?
Gosh, week 2 was rough. Week 2, I loved it because it was pigs, and that's what I know and love. And Mila had a really, really great pig. Like, I have never been so fortunate when I did show pigs. My first year, my pig was a menace. My pig literally, he started stressing out because, I mean, San Antonio for pigs, it's nothing like San Antonio for your breeder show. Like, it was, people are stacked on people. The whole show ring that you showed in was stacked full of chairs and people sitting in it. Like, there's no walking room. Like, it was crazy. Usually, back when I showed, you had that ring to kind of go walk your pig in, so you didn't have to walk down the aisles and stuff. No, you were like, they had campgrounds out in that show ring. So it was people stacked on top of people. But anyways, it's chaotic. And so when my pig went through all of that, he stressed out, and pigs have a stressing, and they can die from stress. But he stressed out. He ran through all those people. So the campgrounds that everybody had, he ran underneath them, knocked baby strollers out. Luckily, the babies weren't in them, but knocked people out of their chairs, all kinds of crazy stuff. That was my freshman year, and everybody in the barn was just trying to get my pig under control and get him into a place, and finally got him to the wash rack and then got him out. He had whelps all over him from people trying to stop him and do different things, and it was just a bad experience. Now, Mila's pig, on the other hand, I walk him. He just jump into the trailer, no problem, walk down the aisles. I was like, why didn't I get this experience?
Yeah, well, was that correlated to how desensitized Mila had her pig, or was it also, did it have to do with personality?
So a lot is personality. I talked to my ag teacher because he's still going to San Antonio Stock Show too with his kids, and he came up to me and he goes, dang, that pig is so nice. He goes, nothing like your pig. He goes, there's something wrong with that one. He thinks that he's like, there's just something not right with that pig. So, I think it was more of, he might have been a little mental, but Mila had the best pig ever. Like I said, I could walk him. We would walk him all through the show ring. We'd go through and we'd bathe him the next morning. But she was so fortunate to have that pig, so it made it kind of sad. But it was a very much an experience. Me and Mila got out there at 4:30 to load him up in the trailer from San Angelo, and then that 4:30 p.m. We got there 9:45-ish to sit in line. Registration didn't start till 12:30 a.m. And then I figured we'd get in around 6 a.m. I figured it was going to be an all-nighter, but no, we didn't get him into the show barn until 11:30 a.m. So we've completely pulled an all-nighter. By the time I drove the truck and trailer back to where I had to drop off the trailer and get back to the show barn to weigh him in, it was already like 1 o'clock. So we stayed up, we completely, there by 1 o'clock, you just can't go back to the hotel and go to bed. Like, you got stuff going on.
Yeah.
So we trucked it through and then woke up early the next morning and everything. So it was quite an experience. I have never experienced anything like that.
Yeah, I can't even imagine the show, like the actual show ring for pigs, because they were showing for the San Antonio stock show and rodeo. Whenever for the first week they had the goat shows where they show the pigs, and then for the second weekend, obviously the pigs were there. But even for the goat shows, that was cramped. It was small, and it wasn't that big of an area to like show all of it. So I can't even imagine how crowded it was and everything. And
It is with pigs, and pigs are big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of those pigs. I get surprised every time I see a big pig. I'm like, oh, wow, I forget they can be that big. Like,
yeah, and what's crazy is, like, you don't have halters with pigs. You just,
no, you catch them.
you hope that you trained them well enough to walk them.
Yeah, I praise all, pig showers. I could not do it without my halters. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad I did not have to go through all of that trouble. Luckily, we had friends who were already in line and offered to take our sheep for us. And,
Yes, thank the Lord, because I am glad I did not have to do that twice.
I was very lucky that, not only did I have my breeder there to, help me with, feeding and preparing and getting them ready for the show, but just having that support system, that support group in place where, like, I knew no matter what, I was taking care of it. It didn't matter what happened, I was going to be okay. There was going to be somebody that could help me figure out whatever problem I had, and it was great. So it was less of a heartbreak. I didn't have to put my sheep on a freaking
truck. It was a very bittersweet ending. More bitter than sweet ending for Mila. I really feel for her. But yeah, it is sad. It wasn't so sad for my first year pig, if you can imagine that. But Mila had it bad. I just hope that she's ready for next year.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how well Mila does next year.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This year was also all about trying new things, especially for CDEs. We had a wool judging team, a cotton judging team, and we had a horse judging team as well.
For the first time in a long time, we had a cotton team. I competed with Emma and Nally. We even got to go to Texas Tech Invitational and get Cheesecake Factory, although sadly I did not get to go because I had band. But it was so worth it to go because Texas Tech gave us free cotton, so next year's team will have a fresh new set.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know that. I competed in the area wool judging contest for the first time ever with my fellow officers, Gavin, Addie, and Charlie. It was something. It was a curveball, definitely, but I think we adapted well, and we actually didn't do terrible for all of us being our first year. I have only practiced with the team last year. I didn't actually compete, so this year was my first actual year competing, and I loved it. And it was definitely humbling, though. However, people don't realize how difficult wool judging is, because you're not just looking at a fleece and just guessing how good it is. You're having to look at, things like fiber diameter, length, strength, and just the overall quality of the fleece itself. So
yeah, we were a first-time team as well, and we did honestly pretty good. There was also another team, horse, although we only had one returning member from last year, Shelby. We also added Addie and Mila to the team, but overall, we all did pretty good.
Yeah, I think the horse judging team did really good. We also had Addie, who has done horse judging previously through 4-H, but yeah, I think it did great. Now I want to hear from some of the officers we will be officially passing the torch to next year, and they're really going to be stepping it up this year, because at the end of the day, this program is only as strong as the people leading it. Now, Emma, you've been a big part of this chapter, this year. What stood out to you?
What stood out to me this year was how close all the officers got. We spend so many hours and so many meetings together that we all just get so close, and our friendships just mean so much to me.
Yeah, Yeah, that's a really good part of FFA is it connects people and you make lifelong friends. But on the flip side of it, what's a challenge you faced this year in FFA? And if you did have a challenge, what did you learn from it? What did you take away from it?
I started cotton judging this year because I was not able to do horse judging. And so learning how to do cotton judging and having to teach other members of the cotton judging team also how to do it was something that really challenged me. But I learned that, hard work always pays off.
So you didn't do cotton judging before this year?
No.
You just did it for the first time this year?
Yes.
Did you do good?
We did all right.
Okay, and that's the most important thing. What's something people don't see behind the scenes that you would say is important when, running FFA?
What people don't see is how many hours we spend together, like going to meetings, planning for events, trips, all the things. And it takes a lot of time and effort and determination to, be an officer. It's a big commitment.
It is. Now, looking ahead, what do you want this program to become in the coming year?
I want this program to become more involved in the school. I feel like if more people knew about FFA and what we do, we could all come together and share our love for agriculture and, teach other people about agriculture and how important it is to our community and to, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Alrighty, Addie. You've been really involved in competitions this year. What would you say your experience competing, what has that taught you?
So I've actually been competing through 4-H since I was 13. So I'm kind of used to competing and getting thrown into competitions, not being prepared. I mean, missing clipboards.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. That was bad.
Well, judging, we showed up for, what was it, area or regionals?
It was area.
Area. We showed up to area and we didn't realize that our clipboards had rulers on the sides because we just grabbed them from the classroom.
Yes.
And we had to do our first 3 classes without a clipboard, and it was.
I was in railing, so I cut it as soon because I was not about to go into that without a clipboard. So I was like, I need a clipboard, and they brought me my clipboard. So
I'm scared to say something, so I just dealt with it for the time being. But we definitely had to adapt.
Yes, we did.
A big word, yeah.
And then especially I also this year I got to learn the difference between how vastly different wool judging is compared to horse. Horse is my thing.
Horse is not my thing. I'm terrible at judging horses. I know nothing about horses. Wool is my thing.
When you get into it, it's so much easier. Getting to judge wool this year, she was like, "Hey, do you want to fill in?" I was like, "I would love to fill in." So I went to one practice and I went and competed. I did surprisingly well for what I did know.
Yeah.
I thought it was just so cool, being able to look back on what I learned and how quickly I was able to apply it to what it was.
Yeah, so you were just, you learned to adapt well in situations a lot this year. Speaking of which, what's something that, didn't go as planned this year, and how did you handle it? I'm guessing that kind of...
Well, I think...
Would you say adapting?
I think, adapting. You don't know how to adapt unless you're actually thrown into something.
Yeah.
And there's no way to prepare for adaptation.
Mm-hmm. You just it's just survival.
You just get hit with it.
Boom. You just gotta go with it. You gotta roll with it. If you're wrong, you're wrong. You're right, you're right. And for the students thinking about competing next year maybe in wool or, your thing, horse, why should they get involved? Or even just FFA as a whole, why should they get involved in FFA?
First of all, it creates really close bonds and friendships. Me and Tegan, I knew nothing about Tegan before, and now she's the best.
My best friend.
Literally. Mm-hmm. And it also, competing helps you grow critical thinking skills because you get to, especially with horse, you have to learn how to look for how they're moving. You have to look for penalties. You have to look for everything. And you have to be able to do that while not looking at your clipboard, writing things down, scoring everything out, which that is a lot to get used to.
I will say something that I find very important that, I learned this year was time management, because you have a time limit for all of, no matter what you judge, you have a time limit as to how long you have to judge, and you have to have those critical thinking skills while also being within the time frame. So I think it's a very important thing to learn, and that's a great lesson. If you stepped into a bigger role next year, what would that look like for you? Like, what would we expect?
I would hope to like grow my leadership skills and help like run the FFA like Hazel is doing, being our president and uniting everyone and constantly being on top of her officers and getting them to do what they need. Or even our vice president, Charlie, also running everything smooth as day. Or even Tegan, like running the podcast, like going in it with so much confidence and helping. Say she has like a guest, she reaches out to the guest and makes sure she has exactly what she needs. That's just kind of like what I would like to look forward to and look up to, especially because those are all just, it's so inspirational knowing I am so close to so many people like this that are amazing leaders, and I just hope to be that.
All right, Charlie. We definitely have to bring you in here because you definitely bring the personality, and I love that so much. Now, my first question for you is, what is a moment this year that you're not going to forget? Like car rides, hotel rooms, like what's memorable to you?
Definitely the bus ride on the way back from Tarleton.
Tarleton?
Yes, from Tarleton. When we played Heads Up.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
No, wait, was I there?
Yes, hun, it was on your phone.
We were coming back from Lubbock Invitational.
Shoot,
yes, we were competing for wool at the Lubbock Invitational, and I had downloaded Heads Up on my phone, and the videos are hilarious.
We have
so fun.
Yes, all of us are like in a circle in our seats playing Heads Up, and we're like screaming at each other. And yeah, I'm surprised the bus driver didn't get fed up with us.
Yeah.
I also liked when the bus driver ate with us.
Yeah. He was nice too. What's something this year that has pushed you out of your comfort zone, would you say?
I would definitely say that the podcast, for one, has pushed me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you've done good with the podcast. You know, it's definitely something to adapt to, having to learn how to talk in front of a camera, you know, and people aren't normally used to that. And I can agree with you.
Yeah.
It gets a little nerve-wracking, but I think you've done very well in adapting to it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else, or?
I did participate in a completely different area of CDs and LDs.
Yeah, she competed in wool judging with me, Gavin,
and I had just a bunch of others that I did last year.
Addie.
So, I mean, it was a little different, but it wasn't necessarily uncomfortable for me. I mean, I showed up and I tried my hardest, and
that's all that matters. You showed up and you showed out in true Charlie fashion. What kind of impact do you want to have on the next chapter going forward?
For the next chapter going forward, I definitely would say I want it to be more of a deeper connection with everybody. I'd like the organization to be, what's the word? Kind of like a little community.
Yeah, like create a community.
Like a little community. But I mean, obviously, FFA is already like that. I just mean it in the sense of I would like to be able to
grow.
Thank you.
Growing. Yes, good job.
Growing what?
It's growing. Like, the chapter's growing. The chapter's growing.
I see. Thought she was telling me the camera's zooming in, like, and I was sitting there, I was like, I thought she was saying stop it first, and I was like, oh.
Now, my question for you, Charlie, is, in your opinion, what makes this year's chapter different from the others for you?
This year's chapter definitely has a different dynamic to it. First off, our officers are almost every officer but two of us, it's their first year in FFA, and that's a pretty rare thing. And along with that, our member count is pretty low.
Yeah.
But, I mean, with that just means that we're adapting.
Yeah, and we're all very close. We all work very hard to make sure FFA runs smoothly and that, you know, we all have equal opportunities to make a difference in our chapter, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. Now, going forward, you know, you're only a sophomore. What impact do you want to have on this chapter moving forward?
I definitely would say that I want to make this chapter I want to
unify
closer. Yes, unified. I want communication, which communication already is, but I want more communication within the group. I want more opportunities for all of us to come together. I think I would also just love, like, Hazel Tyler. Hazel Tyler's like a big sister to me, and she taught me so much about FFA, and I want to be, you know, next chapter's FFA, I want to be their big sister. I want them to be able to come to me for help and come to me if they have any questions. I feel like it's definitely important that they voice their concerns and they know that they're taken into account.
because
you want to be a pillar to
Yeah.
the chapter.
I want to be a messenger in a sense.
Yeah,
like
someone that
you can
lean
trust.
on.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. And I
Yeah.
think that's very important to have someone that is willing to listen and hear everyone, because that's a huge thing in FFA is having leaders who are willing to listen to the people and not only, have a voice, but to use their voice to be a voice
to
for
represent
those
them.
who, yes, those who don't have one.
Yeah.
I think that's great, and I commend you for that. So, thank you for this interview. Yeah. Hey, Gavin. So, from your perspective, what is the biggest growth that you've seen in this chapter?
I would say the biggest growth I've seen within our chapter is just how closely we've gotten together. Because at the beginning of the year, I didn't even know who Tegan was. And
Just me.
through competitions through Wool and other events such as that, I feel like I've gotten to know you way better. And then even with our other officer, Addie, I had 2 classes with her. Did I talk to her? Not really. But now through FFA and other things like that, I feel like we've grown together.
Yeah, now we tight, Gavin.
Now we tight.
Now we tight, guys. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I also think being an upperclassman and Hazel being the only upperclassman with me that is in the officer group, I have to say I've been really proud of how all of y'all have adapted to being a organization that doesn't get, the most attention, especially for our school. We don't have a huge ag, stuff. And I'm just really proud because we held our own. We didn't get discouraged with the competing teams like Water Valley, Creek, Wall, who all have really big, agricultural opportunities. They have a lot more stuff. you know? And it didn't discourage us at all. It didn't discourage any one of y'all, and y'all held y'all's best foot forward, and y'all did y'all's best.
Especially in Wool. Shout out Wool.
Shout out Wool.
Shout out Wool.
We did great. Now, what's something you learned this year that you'll carry with you moving forward?
What I learned this year and what I feel like would be great moving forward is just to be accepting to new members and returning members. Because even as we stated before, just being accepted into this group can open up so many possibilities for you. And it really goes to show how being open and accepting can do for you.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think it's important if you go into a new environment in a new situation and you are closed off to opinions, you're closed off with yourself, and you're not open with everyone else. If I hadn't put my foot forward and talked to everyone, I wouldn't be as close as I would be with you, and I wouldn't be as close as I would be with Addie and any of us, all of the officers. And I think that's a great thing, is being able to accept everyone. In your personal opinion, what would you tell younger members who are just getting started in FFA? What advice would you give? Gavin advice.
Me advice. Best advice. What I would say is just be willing to do anything. Because this was my first year, and being thrust into the officer role is kind of scary.
It is. And I can agree to this. It's my first year as an officer too.
Yeah.
And an FFA.
But just being open and willing, because radio broadcasting, I've never spoken or done anything public like that, and I loved it. And then furthermore, with Wool, I've never even been around a sheep in my whole life. But
and you did great. You did great.
I ended up loving it, and it's something I've become passionate about, and especially through FFA, agriculture, and everything, it's completely reshaped what I want to do with my life and the people I surround myself with.
Yeah, I can agree to that a lot. Well, thank you, Gavin.
Thank you for having me.
Before we close this out, let's take a second, because this isn't just an end of an episode. This is the end of our time here.
Now, Hazel, you've been leading this chapter as president. What are you most proud of?
I'm honestly most proud of my cotton team. They did really well. They tried their hardest. They kept practicing. And I feel like as a first-time team, I couldn't have asked for better people that surrounded me. They really did truly try their hardest. And thank you all so much for giving me an amazing final CDE season.
And what do you hope for the chapters moving forward?
Moving forward, this was repeated a lot at our district banquet, but I really, really hope for more involvement. There are so many students in agriculture classes that, no offense, but flat out do nothing.
Yeah.
And it's really sad as a president watching all that, because we are surrounded by agriculture, especially in San Angelo, Texas, and especially at like a 6A school with so many students. I just really wish that we got more involvement, but that does start with people like us, the officer team. So to all the officers, both next year, whether you're at Central FFA or here, or if you're no longer going to be an officer,
Stop talking.
please get out there. Go talk to your elementary schools or middle schools. Go talk to the next generations because they are our future. We will be relying on them eventually to take over our positions, and agriculture is such an important part to everything that we do. But it is really important that we actually get out there and talk, especially the officers. Be involved and be supportive. Talk about agriculture and FFA in a positive way because it's a very positive program.
It is. It is. I agree with this.
Tegan, you've been the voice for this podcast. What has this experience meant for you?
This podcast has definitely shaped me in a very significant way. It has not only taught me many life skills, but it has ignited a love and passion for agriculture that I didn't know I had in me. I cannot thank God enough for blessing me with this opportunity because I truly believe this is what I needed to find my passion in life. Sorry guys, I can't see. To not only find my voice, but the confidence to stand firm in my beliefs, regardless of how late I started my journey in FFA. I, too, found out that I could still make an impact, and I'm so proud of how this podcast has come, and I am very sad to leave, but I have all the faith in our FFA team that they can carry on this legacy, and that they can foster the growth of this podcast and care for it and have the love for it that I created it with.
Wow, you're going to make me cry.
Yeah.
What's something you're going to miss the most?
Wait till you hear this one. You're going to cry with this one. Now, I know a lot of ag kids specifically can relate to this, but the thing I'm going to miss the most, well, it's not a thing, it's a person, is my ag teacher, Bailey Ship. I came into her livestock production class my junior year. And when I tell you that is my favorite class that I've ever taken in the history of my whole educational career, I mean it, too. And I give her all the credit for it. She fostered my love for agriculture, and she eventually pushed me to go further by encouraging me to start this podcast and to join FFA my senior year. I'm not lying to you when I say I was very intimidated. I felt inferior being a senior, only having 1 year doing this and having to compete against people who have been involved in agriculture since birth. You know, it's definitely intimidating. But it is so special to have a teacher who sees and saw the potential in me and who did her best every day to make sure that I saw that potential in myself as well. Cannot express my gratitude as she has cheered me on regardless of if I win or fail. And I have found nothing but a home in her classroom. This is also my public apology for chewing her ear off every single day in class and not knowing when to stop talking. But those days when I couldn't stop talking and all I could do was yap, I cannot be more grateful that she listened. And I'm going to miss Ship a lot, and Rennie Pooh, her daughter. But the impact she has had on me will live with me forever. See ya. Now, to commemorate the 2025 through 2026 Central FFA season, here are a few photos taken throughout the year.
To all our seniors, thank you for everything you have given to our chapter.
Cue the waterworks. To the next group of leaders, The torch is now yours.
Thank you for listening to the Ag Update, Blue and Gold Edition. If you want real information without the noise, you're in the right place. Stay informed, stay involved, and for the last time, always stay rooted in agriculture. Bye, guys.